we are going to first start with the Santa. And so go ahead and grab, hopefully you have a larger sheet of paper. I'm using a larger sheet. I'm using a 9-inch square just so that you can see the detail, and it'll make it easier for you to see. But you could certainly use it from a 6-inch. This guy is folded from a 6-inch, so it just gets a little when you get into this. So visually, I think it'll help that I use a larger sheet. Okay, so so go ahead and hopefully, if you have a red and white sheet, great. Whatever color, we want to start first off with the back side facing up. So right now I have the color side on the bottom. So the back side's facing up. We're going to fold it into a triangle. Pull straight down, go to the right and left. That prevents the shift from happening. And then now you're going to take this and fold it in half again. Give it a nice crease. And now we're going to unfold the entire thing and turn it over to the color side. So my color side is the red side. And then you can see we've got, you know, the two diagonals. So what we want to do is choose two opposite diagonals. We're going to make the Santa's cuffs. So let's just take one point here, and we're going to fold it, do 2 valley folds. So it's going to be just a little bit. If you've got a 6-inch sheet, it's probably going to be about 1/8 of an inch fold. Okay, so fold it once and twice. So you have a little cuff like this. And then we're going to go to the other side of that line. So follow that line. You want to make sure that we get his other cuff in place. So again, you're going to fold the point up, and then you've got that center crease to kind of line up your fold. So fold it once, fold it twice. So now you've got a cuff here and here. Okay, so now that we've got our two, you can't really see it on my screen, but I've got my 2 cuffs. Go ahead and fold it in half so that you have your cuffs on either end like that. Let's see, I got cuff on one side, got a cuff on the other side. Okay, flatten it out. Now we're going to take the top point here, fold it where the fold intersects this bottom edge here. So we're just going to bring that point down, line it up, and then go ahead and crease. So now we should have, you know, you've got your cuff here, you got your cuff here, and then you've got this triangle that we just folded down to the bottom. Now we're taking that same triangle. Now you have 2 layers of paper here. Take both layers and you're going to fold it up, but you're not going all the way to the top. You're only going to go just shy of the edge. So let me see if I can show you where I've got it marked. I'm folding it right about here, not all the way to the top. So just, you want to leave a little space because that's where the beard stops here for Santa. Okay. So you should have now a small triangle that comes up to here, not all the way to the top. Now we're going to peel off 1 layer here, and we're going to open it up. Let's rotate the model this way. So now you should have it oriented so that the triangle, the main part of the triangle is facing like this. And so you have this point facing up. You'd split these. So before it was here, and then you're just peeling off the top layer so that now we have this. So now we've got this edge here. We're going to fold. You want to grab the folded edge and fold it down, giving him his mustache. So if you're folding from a 6-inch, this is again about maybe 1/8 of an inch down. So make sure you grab that folded edge and just fold the whole thing down So it should look like this. And you know, there is a line, a fold up here, right? And here's the edge of his mustache right here, okay? So now we're going to take this and refold it down, just refold it down on you on that fold that was there. So it should meet down here. And then you're going to fold it back. We're going to pleat it. And you want to use your center line as kind of a, make sure your point is riding along that. You want to give a little bit of a gap between his mustache and this is going to be his eyebrows. Okay. So there's a little gap there. If you've got a 6-inch paper, it's probably going to be about a 1/16 of an inch, maybe. So just enough for a little bit of a gap in between like that. Okay. And now we're going to lift this whole flap up, and this point here wraps around to the back. So you'll see that you've got that little bit of a gap. And then you're just going to take the paper and just fold it over that edge that you see here. So it should look like this. So I'll repeat that. You've got this, you've completed your pleat for the eyebrows. You lift up this whole flap, take this point and you're just going to fold it behind, wrapping around that edge there on the top of your eyebrow. Okay, give that a nice crease. So we got his beard, his mustache, and his eyebrows, or his eyes and eyebrows. Pretty cool. So now we're going to take, if you look, you've got, you know, your center line here. You've got his arms on either side. Let me close this screen. Great. Now what we're going to do is do a valley fold. Here's your center line. We're going to do a valley fold, this edge going out to his cuff. Let's see if I can get it in the camera. Oh, let me raise it up. So this edge is going to pivot on this point, and we're going to make this edge meet the center. So we're basically going to fold this over so that it meets the center line. Okay. And do the same for the other arm. Take that, you're pivoting here. This top edge comes to the center. So we're going to go down like that. Now, if your cuffs aren't even, like mine aren't exactly even, that's fine. It's on either side of Santa, it's okay. Okay. Now, I want you to unfold one arm here. So we're going to create a rabbit ear on this arm. A rabbit ear is a 3-part fold. I think we did this on one of the other models that I taught. And basically you're bisecting each of these corners here on this arm. What that means is we're making a fold right down the middle from the corner here, right down the middle from the corner here, halfway point, and the same goes for here. Super, super easy. So what we're going to do first is take this top part here, the cuff is here, and this is going to fold using this pivot point, and you're going to fold it up to this line here, this fold that you just created on this last step. You're taking this and folding it right from that middle point all along the edge of that triangle. So give that a fold all the way across, all the way down, excuse me, and then unfold. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing for this corner here. So this edge is going to come up to meet this edge here. All the way along that, and then go ahead and fold that. That's 2. So now you should have a fold here, a fold here. Now we have to do one for here. Super easy. We're just going to take the paper, and you could either bring the top edge to meet the bottom or bring the bottom edge up to the top. It's fine. I'm going to take the top edge and meet the bottom edge like this. So just roll it over and fold it until it stops where these folds intersect. So you see my fold goes from here and it ends right here. One thing you could do is fold it and collapse it at the same time. So what that means is you're taking these edges and just bringing them together. You're not necessarily bringing it down this way or bringing it up that way. Let's just kind of fold in the air, so to speak. So you bring the edges together like this, and then just kind of walk the paper in as you collapse these folds into place. Do you see how that works? It should go right into place. So you fold it till it stops. That's your rabbit ear. And then go ahead and put the arm forward like that. That's a rabbit ear. Pretty cool. Now we're going to do the same thing for the other side. So we're going to open that up. Let's do the first part of the rabbit ear, taking this top edge and bringing it to this edge here. So we're just going to go ahead and fold it right along. You want to make sure it ends at a point because we want Santa's hat to have a point. Okay, give that a good crease. Unfold that. Now we're taking this bottom edge and folding up to meet this side of the triangle. Starting at this point here. Give it that good strong crease. So now that we have that part two, now we're folding this edge to this edge. So starting from the cuff, pinch it, fold it in half. Make sure you're lined up here. These two edges are lined up. Keep pinching till it stops. And as you push the paper forward, the two previous folds should collapse like this. And then push the arm up and fold. Rabbit ear. There's Santa. He's like stretching in his yoga class. Okay. So now that we have that, we're going to take each arm. Let's take this one, and we're just going to fold it in. Take the other one, fold it in, tuck his arm in there. Okay. We're putting Santa through workout here. We're stretching him out. Okay. So now you want to turn him over. So let's flip him over to the other side. And then now we're going to use this as a pivot point. This edge and this edge come to meet the center line. Here's my center line. You should have a pre-crease there. So take all the layers and fold it. And try to make it a point up on the top. And the same for the other side. So this top edge comes to meet the center line, creating a point at the top. Now you got a lot of layers of paper here, so just make sure that you give it a nice flat crease. If you want to use a pen or a bone folder, go ahead and do that. Great time to do it. Makes it nice and flat like that. Okay, now turn him over. There's Santa. Let's get his arms out. So if you reach inside, you see the cuff? We're going to do a valley fold. If you pull the arm out, we're going to go, you can kind of see where the eyebrows end here. I want to make an angle fold that comes out, and it's going to look like, I'm going to start my angle fold somewhere down here. So if you look at if you open up the side layers here, here's your arm. You see these points here? So this fold for his arm should start right around there. It gives it a nice angle fold. So the fold is actually going to be like from here up to here. When you fold it, it should look like this. So when you close him up, see his arm is hanging up or pointing up. Pretty cool. So go ahead and fold that. So again, you're taking the arm and we're doing a valley fold, an angled valley fold out that starts here, which is along the lines of where these 2 points are, and comes up at an angle that's about halfway between these 2 points here. And then close it up. And there's one arm. So now for the other arm, let's open them up here. Take the arm, valley fold it out at an angle starting from this line here. Well, you've got the other arm on the other side, so you can just kind of match that. And then close it up. Looking good. So now here at the bottom, you've got 2 flaps. What we want to do is create an inside reverse fold that's flat along the bottom so he stands. So what I want to do is you want to take one side and you want to do an angled valley fold out so that this here is parallel to this so that it's flat. So when he stands, he's flat. Does that make sense? So the fold is actually almost all the way here. And then you see how this is parallel to this here, making a flat angle or a flat part that he can stand on. So give that a good strong crease and unfold it. And then we're going to inside reverse fold that. So you're going to open the layers from the outside. And you're going to push this in. Now, if you look at your fold, the back part is a mountain fold, but this is a valley fold. So it's a matter of reversing the direction of this angle fold into a mountain fold. So if you reverse that like this, now you can push this in and it'll go exactly where you had the pre-crease. So let's give Santa the other foot. So go ahead and make another outside angle fold and keep in mind this part here. You want it to be flat, parallel to this part of the model, and which should make it a flat like you had on the other side like this. Give it a good strong crease, unfold it. From the outside, you reach in here, reverse the direction of this top fold by creating a mountain fold. So we're just going to create a mountain fold. Push this point in, or his foot in, and flatten. And now you've got 2 feet, and he should stand. You might have to open, and we're actually done with the folding. You might have to open the feet a little bit so that he should, you might have to do a little adjustment. Well, he's standing, yay. So if you look at his face, so remember I was saying eyebrows and mustache. So what I do is to create the eyebrows. So here's our top flap, that's the eyebrow. I take my fingernail and stick it underneath here. And if you hold the middle down like I'm doing here, so I'm holding the middle down, take your fingernail and you just push up. This will make a little eyebrow. Do you see that? So try that, just a little bit. And then do the other side. So remember, hold the middle down, take your fingernail or a pen, and just reach in underneath. And let's see. So I'm right-handed, so it makes it difficult for me to do it that way. So I'm going to do it with my right hand and push up. And you've got 2 eyebrows. Yay! Then if you want, you can reach underneath where his mustache is, right down the middle. You just kind of make, if you can, and what I do is I kind of pinch him so that if you pinch him together, you can actually raise this part and pinch it, creating a little nose. If you can, like that. And then the beard, I like to kind of take the tip of the beard and just kind of give it a little curl. So you have a little curl on the beard. And there's Mr. Happy Santa. Right. So now on to the tree. Okay, so for the tree, we do need some scissors. Super, super easy model, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to take a 10-inch paper here so that you can kind of see. So now we need to do some pre-creases, okay? So we're going to go ahead and color side facing up, fold it into a triangle. Hold your points together, pull straight down, and fold. Go ahead and unfold, rotate, and fold the other triangle. So we're going to fold a preliminary base. So that's that double square. This is a super easy way to do it. And then unfold. Turn the paper over. We're looking at the back side now, and we're going to fold both rectangles. So fold one rectangle. And fold. Make these nice crisp folds, okay? Open it up, rotate, and fold the final rectangle. And you want to keep it folded in this rectangle. So keep it folded. Make sure it's a nice, clean, crisp fold. And now we're going to find the folded edge. Here's my folded edge. Grab each corner of the folded edge and swing the four corners together that you see there. So again, it's a hinge. So the center pops open. Grabbing the two corners, push it together. Go ahead and make two flaps go on one side, two flaps go to the other side, and flatten. And you should have this, the preliminary base. Okay, so you got two flaps, open end facing you. So now we're going to do some squash folding. Okay, ready? So we're going to take one flap. Now, I'm going to refer to this as the spine. Every time we set up for a squash fold, we have to reinforce this spine, which is you take the flap, fold it over to the other side, and bring it to the center. Now you've got a pocket. The open end should be facing you, so you should have a pocket right here. So slide your finger into the pocket until it pops open, and then squash fold it, lining up your fold on top with the center line here. It should open up to a point, okay? So go ahead and squash fold that. Turn the model over. You should have two flaps on one side. So take the one that has the two flaps, take this and flip it over, reinforcing the spine, and bring it to the center. We're going to repeat. So slide your finger into the pocket here until it pops open like this, and then squash it down, keeping the center line lined up with the middle of the model here. It should come to a point here. Okay, so now we're going to, let's see, best way to do this is we're going to take this side and you're just going to flip it over to one side like that. You have the next flap, flip that over, reinforcing the spine, and bring that to the center. So your model should look like this. You should have one flap face up, and then the final flap is over here. Could be over here, but it should be over here. Go ahead and slide your finger in, pop it open, squash fold it, keeping the center line in mind as you do. It's also helpful if you fold from the top out. Then the paper doesn't get bunched up in here. Okay. Now flip the model over. Take this flap, fold it over to the left against the spine, Take your final flap, fold it over, reinforcing the spine, and bring it to the center. Slide your finger into the pocket till it pops open, and squash fold, keeping the center line in mind. Start your fold from the top and work your way down. Okay. How's that looking? Okay, looking good. Awesome. So we have, you should have 4 flaps on one side and 4 flaps on the other side. If you don't, go ahead and divide it so that you end up with this face up, and you've got 4 flaps and 4 flaps. Okay, this is cool because this is a repetitive fold. What you do to one side, you do to the others. So now let's take this, the flap on the right, and fold it over using the spine. And so now this flap here, so this, it should look like this. It shouldn't have any white showing. We should be looking at this side here. You're going to take this top flap here and fold it up. You see where it ends here? We're going to create a triangle basically by folding that up as far as it'll go, which actually ends at these 2 points here. Okay. And again, you've got your center line fold to kind of keep symmetrical here. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to pleat it back down. So we're going to fold it down, and I would say you want to leave just a little bit of space like this. It's for 6-inch, it's probably going to be about 1/8 of an inch, kind of like what we did for Santa. And then now we're going to take this bottom flap, this edge here. See, we have an upside down triangle. So these both of these edges, we're going to create a valley fold that comes up. It's approximate. I would say let's use some guidelines so that you can be consistent. So you see where the edge is here. So we're going to start our fold here. So you can kind of watch this before you actually do it. And then bring it up to about here. And then we're going to take this edge, start that fold, and we're going to bring it up. And what happens is it ends up making a point here. So now let's fold that flap back to the right. And then fold this next flap over to the right. So now we are looking at this here. And repeat. So take this bottom flap, fold it up into a triangle as far as it'll go. Fold it back down. And then fold. Now you've got the point from the previous step as a guide. So you're starting your fold from this edge here, and we're bringing it up, and it should hit the point from the previous flap, like that. And then taking this other side and folding that up, and it should match the one in the back. Okay. So now let's turn the model over. Let's turn them over. Now you should have one flap here and a bunch of, let's see, 2 flaps here. So take the one on the left and fold it over and repeat. So take that triangle, that point, fold it up into a triangle, fold it back down, approximate pleat. Take this bottom edge and fold it up, starting from this point here. It should match what you see behind, so that makes it easy. And then take this edge and fold that up. Okay. And then the final one, we got to find the final one. So let's flip that over to the left and flip it again, flip the next one over. So now we've got the final one. So go ahead and fold that triangle up. Pleat it back down. Take this bottom edge and fold it out, starting at this point here and being even with what you've got on the bottom here. And then taking this edge and folding that up. Remember, we're starting from this point here. And that should all be even. Okay. So now we're done with the folding. And what I want you to do, let's see here. That's one thing I forgot. Okay. So, you know, this edge, this flap that we created, just fold it down. So it should look like this. And see if you can go to the other ones and fold all of those down. Sorry, I forgot that step. What you could do is keep turning the pages till you find the ones that didn't fold down. Just keep flipping them back and forth. Okay. Okay. So now, if you can go ahead and have it so that it's split, even number. So you have 4 and 4. Okay. So your tree should look like this in profile. Got a little white point down there. Okay. So now we're going to get your scissors and we're going to make 4 cuts, and you could cut all 4 at the 4 flaps at the same time, making it really easy. And so if you imagine a tree, you can do a straight cut across. I kind of like doing an angle cut. So to space it out evenly, let's kind of go to the halfway point here. Let's make our first cut, and I'm going to make it at an angle. And you want to not go all the way to the center. We want to leave a little space between the cut and the center line, like you see here. Then make another parallel cut above that. Oops. And then another parallel cut below that. So you see where my cuts end. If you move one page over to the left, now you have the same exact cuts that you can duplicate on this side. So let's go ahead and do that. Cut through all the layers on the left. I love this model because it looks so good. You know, you make a nice big one for the table. It's a lot of fun. So now we have symmetrical cuts all the way around. Okay, so now let's find, and what we're going to do is we're going to work with the right side and flip, and then right side and then flip, and keep doing that. So where the cuts are, so on the top cut, we're going to fold it. Just take the one layer, or you know, it's folded, and the fold is going to be from where the end of the cut is to the point of that branch. So for example, it's going to look like this. So from the start of the cut and ending at the point, which is where the next cut is. So you're just going to fold that down and then do the next one. So here's the next one. We're going to fold that down, starting from the end of the cut to the point. like that. And then the final one. Yeah, make sure that you're not folding two sets of, it should be just one double flap that you've got. When you get to the bottom, you know how we have this little angle fold that we have? So you want the fold to come to where the point is here. So you see, you still have a little bit of an angle down here, okay? So then after you do that, turn the page and start on the next one. This is really satisfying. You just keep, you know, keep turning the pages, and it helps to keep consistent and just working with one side, whether it's the left side or the right side. Just make sure that you do it all the same side, so it doesn't end up being bulky in between branches. Okay. Keep turning it, split your pages, and keep, isn't this fun? This is really satisfying. Then you could get some gel markers and make some, you know, decorations on there. And just keep folding. So you can see when we have the angle, it just makes a nice, I like the tree. If you want it to be more straight out, then just make a straight horizontal cut, a right angle cut to the center of the tree. Okay, so this is something you can have fun with. And the other option with this is that you don't have to fold this part down. You know, you fold your preliminary base, you squash fold all the flaps, and then if you just fold the triangle up, the tree will just sit right on the table. You're not going to have a little extra for it to sit, you know, raise it up from. So that's fine. You know, you don't have to do this additional part here. Just fold the triangle up and then it'll sit right flat on the table. Okay. And this, of course, as you know, can flatten, and you could send this in the card, and then when they get it, they can, you know, pop it open. Or like if you saw how I did the pop-up card last week, attach it to the flap on the inside flat, and then when they get it, it will open up real nicely too. Or, you know, they might need to pop it open. But if you send it to them loose as an ornament, it's going to be, it'll be, you know, it's festive. And then of course you can put a little, an ornament hook through the top and hang it. It should stand. If it doesn't stand, just flatten out the points here, which I'm going to do because mine does not stand. So I'm taking out the points of the trunk. There you go. That's what we need to do. And then you've got your cool tree. Isn't that neat? Okay. So if you've got double-sided paper, great. If not, you can take 2 sheets and go back to back. Or not. You can just do it so that you have white on the inside too. So whichever you prefer. So whatever color you want on the inside, that's going to be the back side. Okay. So let's have the back side facing down. This is going to be my outside color. So grab both sheets together and let's fold our triangle. Now you'll notice that you might have a little white edge along there. It's not a problem. You could certainly trim it at the end if you want. So like you see my model here, there's a little bit of a white. If it doesn't bother you, it's not a problem. If it bothers you, then you could trim it at the end. Okay, so we do that. Remember, the back side of the paper should be what you're looking at here. Okay, so open it up, rotate, and fold the other triangle. So again, the back side of the paper is facing up. This is what's going to be on the inside of the model. Okay. Great. Open it up. And then now we want to turn it over so that the inside or the back side of the model is face up. Okay. So you want to take the four corners and bring it to the center. Now, it's important here to just kind of just back it off slightly from the actual fold. Okay. Just give a little bit of a space and fold all four corners to the middle. So the color, this should be the color that you have on the outside, right? That should be what you're looking at. So when you do the crane base, it's a simple matter of putting the four corners into the middle, and now you're treating this as your square, and you're going to go ahead and fold it. So we've got our square. Turn the model over, fold our two triangles. Fold the one, fold the other one. And you'll have to smooth out these corners if you've got foil or you're folding two sheets together. Sometimes it bunches up here. Okay. So now you unfold it. So let's turn it over so that we have the four corners facing up like this. Okay. Now we did some pre-creasing earlier, and it should, okay, actually I just see that's the reverse direction. But we can still go ahead and do that. Okay, so you got the four corners facing up. Let's reinforce our folds going this way. So fold this into a rectangle. Fold this into a rectangle. Sorry about that. So to be clear, we have the four corners facing up. We're folding the rectangle. We're folding the other rectangle. Oh, keep that folded. Grab your two corners, push together. And here's your preliminary base. You do two flaps on one side and two flaps on the other side. Now we're going to fold our the crane base. We're making the two ice cream cones. So for those of you who have seen how I teach the crane, so you have your open end facing you. That's really important. We're taking this edge here and folding it to meet the middle like this. That's half of an ice cream cone. Let's do this. Fold the other half to the center. So you have your ice cream cone. Now, if you folded two sheets together like I did, it gets really thick. And then you have now we're not going to fold, normally you would fold the ice cream down, but we're not going to do that this time because it's important to not have that fold there, okay? So unfold the cone, lift up this top layer of paper, stretch it open, and you see how the sides come in? So you want to go ahead and continue and bring the sides in, starting from the bottom. Like that. And then you continue with this top. You're reversing the direction of the cone on that. So the outside edge should line up with the center like this. Okay. Same for the other side. Start from the bottom. Bring your edge in. Just like folding a crane. And now it's really important that you take this wing and fold it down. Okay. So let's turn the model over and repeat. So this is our repeat. Open end facing you. Fold this outside edge in. Make your cone. Make your other cone. Other half of the cone, rather. Good strong crease. Unfold. Lift that top layer up, open it up. Starting from the bottom, bring the sides in. So here you want it, since we didn't do the ice cream fold, you need to open it up a little bit more here in the corners. Okay. So bring that in. And the other side in. And once we do that, we're done with the folding. Now, this is the fun part. Okay, so make sure that the wing goes down. So give it a good strong crease all the way around. Take your pen, make it nice and flat. Now, this is the fun part, okay? So now on this open end here, that's really close. All right. Okay. So you've got two flaps here and you've got two petals here. So the two flaps on the inside, grab it, pinch it between your fingers with either hand. Okay, so watch this first before you do it. You keep pinching, and then you pull and it pops open and here's your star. You have to pull it and it pops. Don't lose that pinch. If it doesn't pop, it didn't quite work. So get it back to this point here. Pinch. You want to keep this flat. It's not going to open up like this. You want to keep it flat. So maybe if you hold it further down, you keep pinching, and then you pull your hands apart and it pops open. And what's cool is that you can actually fold this on a larger scale and use wax paper on the inside and put candies or nuts and stuff like that. And that's really cool for the table. But this is perfect for the tree. What I like to do is after you pop it open, just kind of open this part here and this part here a little bit to give it a nice shape like that. And your ornament hook could go either right through the middle to the back that way, or it can go this way. So I think if you go straight through to the back and then hang it, it might end up rotating back and forth, but you can easily bend your ornament hook so that it's centered once it's on the branch.